Caroline Mann. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
And it is Caroline, thank you. Caroline Mann, Knox County. I addressed the board on Monday, and the voucher vote was fresh. I was a little bit upset, and I didn't present my questions to you as clearly as I would have liked. So I'd like to reframe them now and to ask you to follow up with me and your constituents in this forum and in other communications in the future. Before I begin, though, I want to thank the board for taking a stand by keeping vouchers out of the 2025 legislative agenda. That was a necessary action and a responsible one, and sadly, a courageous one in this time and in this state. I have 3 questions for you, and I would appreciate your consideration in addressing them for as long as the current voucher and deportation regime stays in power. First, how is this board going to work with other LEAs across the state to overcome the damage to public schools caused by the supermajority's decision to divert public funds into private pockets? How will you work with other LEAs to overcome the genuine fear among students, faculty, staff, and families now that Tennessee is part of this deportation regime, especially here in Knox County with the Sheriff's Office enmeshed in the 287G program? Second, how will you as a board monitor and report on the harms caused to public schools across the state and in Knox County as our tax dollars are diverted to private pockets? How will you as a board, quote, actively and consistently engage families through meaningful two-way communication as stated in the state's Board of Education policy to keep us informed of any disruptive deportation actions that take place in our schools? As elected officials charged with the direction and oversight of public schools, I expect you to be informed of these topics and to share this information with your constituents. Help us understand the consequences of this disastrous special session. And third, how will you as a board overcome the fact that members of this body have publicly advocated for legislation that undermines the institution you have been elected to direct? How are you going to restore trust in the Knox County School Board? You were elected to support public schools. Your own legislative priorities for 2025 include a plea for lottery money to fund educational programs and extracurricular activities. How can you expect the people of Knox County to accept that your leadership testified in Nashville for a bill that hands over our tax dollars instead of investing them in the essential institution of public education? I hope to hear these answers from you as we all fight for public education in an increasingly hostile administration. Thank you.